Previously on Star Wars: Darkest Dawn. Our team has been out of contact with Pelagon for a few weeks now, as they continue mapping the unknown in an attempt to circumnavigate around the Tapani sector and create a new hyperspace lane. Drade and Ashi discover that a holocron had been left on the ship to assist them with their training and any Force-related questions they might have. Embedded within the holocron was the essence of Singar Keldroma, a Jedi from a time long since past. As the team continue their travels, they discover a pre-faster-than-light culture on a previously undiscovered planet. After receiving several transmissions, they surmise that they have honed in on commercial broadcasts for various news outlets and entertainment programs. As they discuss what their next action should be, they receive a strange transmission. After accepting it, they are surprised to find they were speaking to a child planetside, who seemed to have been trying to speak to a friend on the other side of the planet. The child, curious about who he was speaking to, mentioned that he was able to move things with his mind, which is uncommon among his people. Now the team worries about the discovery about a possible Force-sensitive child and the dangers he might face.
in, you royal boob!
I'm Brad!
Go. Killed the music. We are back and live once again for more Star Wars Darkest Dawn. And of course, the intro is already played, so we don't have to do a recap here as of this point. However, it is Christmas in October. We have got count them, three birthdays in the month of October. So we need some points rolled. So Dale and Brittany and myself, why don't you all go ahead and roll 1d6. And if somebody would like to roll for the monthly points, it would be either Colin or Ashley or Shelly. I got her character and out of character name mashed together. All right. Look at that high rolling Dale.
1. Better than 0, you know?
Somebody say something?
Sorry, Discord is booting.
Oh, gotcha. That might be why you're kind of cracking up right now.
Yeah. Sorry. It's taking its sweet time.
Shelly, could you roll for our monthly points?
So 1d6, right?
1d6.
Okay.
5 from me.
Okay, and for moi, booyah!
Woohoo!
Oh, that means you get to re-roll it.
Of course. How could I forget?
Yeah.
So we have a total of 12, 15 points for this month.
Woo.
Woohoo! All right.
15.
15.
Yep.
Okay. Woohoo.
Right.
Yep, Davies in the chat. More Star Wars. Yep, 15
He needs to get
XPs.
He needs to get his butt back here.
Or technically character points, but
Right.
same difference. All right, so we all know where we left off. Literally in the midst of a conversation with an alien.
Oh,
And-
yeah. I was
and-
talking with the kid, wasn't I?
Yes, you were. And you are in the midst of trying to figure out, which I think you guys are fairly positive, he's force sensitive.
Yeah.
And what to do about that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time to remove him from his family.
Yep.
Yeah.
Standard procedure, you know.
And don't forget, you have to unmute yourself, Colin, if we're going to hear you.
I was just laughing.
Oh, no, it looked like you were talking.
Okay.
I forgot what was the last. Oh, who's doing recap?
Recap's already been
It's not
done.
here.
The
Oh, that's
announcer
right.
voice did it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm taking notes today, so
Let's see. So he let us know that he was able to move blocks with his mind,
Mm-hmm.
and we asked him if anyone else does that. A comic book hero does that, but no real people on his world that he knows of does that.
Right.
So it sounds like, yeah, society has not been introduced to the Force yet.
Apparently, his name is Nestos.
That's right.
yes, Nestos. So, Drade, what do you want? What do you want to do? Do we just leave him behind, or
That seems cruel. I mean, think of this. So this civilization, they don't have faster than light technology. They don't have hyperdrives like us, so it's not like they're privy to all the information that galactic civilization has, right? I mean, who knows what's going to happen to him if he says, "Hey, look, Mom and Dad," moves something with his mind. How will they take that? Are they mature enough to try to find out what's going on and help him, or are they gonna burn him at the stake or something? I think we have to find out what their civilization is like, what their culture is like, at least a little bit, to see if he's in danger.
was Montaigne able to zero in on his transmission so we kind of know where on the planet he is?
Did he make that roll? I don't
think he
recall
had
him doing
yet.
that.
No.
So then the important question becomes, who wants to roll for him? So you can joint take the blame if it goes wrong.
1, 2, 3, not it.
I'll joint roll. What am I rolling here?
Okay.
Also, Dale, you need a re-roll.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, thank you.
Be a heck of a thing to do to waste a reroll on somebody else.
Yeah, maybe don't use it on him. But,
right. Oh yeah.
I mean, it's up to you.
You're going to want to roll sensors,
Okay.
and he has 2D.
Sweet. Here
2d10?
we go.
Uh,
2d20.
that would be
Oh,
nice,
right,
but
right,
no.
right.
He's special that way. Oh, not bad. 10.
Ooh,
Just shy of moderate.
that makes it easy check. He's having some difficulty doing that. There are a lot of radio frequencies that you guys are able to pick up on coming off the planet, as that is still one of the primary modes of communication.
Okay. Perhaps we could just keep flying over until his signal gets stronger.
That is one method. We don't want to get too close or underneath where any satellites they have in orbit can pick us up. It does seem like they've got that, but who knows if they're looking out into the stars, and if we pass in front of one of those, well, that's going to be a big shock to their civilization, right? So I'll see what I can do about avoiding any of that while we go over.
Okay.
So then, yeah.
Hey, Nestos, are you still there with us?
Yeah. I didn't get your name. Who are you?
Oh, my name is Ashi.
That's an odd sounding name. Does that have to do with
Yeah.
your accent?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. I can still hear you.
Okay. Would you object to meeting me?
You live in my neighborhood?
I'm close.
Okay. I guess. My parents told me stranger danger, though. You're not like an adult, are you?
Not really. But I'm really interested in you being able to move things with your mind, and I really would like to see that. Would you be willing to show me?
Okay. I mean, I don't go around just showing it to everybody because, it's kind of trippy.
Yeah, I understand. There's some things that I can do too that is kind of trippy. But maybe I can show you.
Let me check. I don't think Mike geared Taco up for languages. There we go.
Do not believe so.
No, I don't think
He did not.
Right.
Nope.
That's what I thought. Okay. That's fine. All right. Well, he says, so do you know where the old fuselage is at in the woods?
No, I don't think I'm familiar with that.
Well, if you live in my neighborhood, you know where it's at.
Well, I don't know if I've been there. But I could probably find it.
He says, okay, so then I'll meet you there. What time?
Can you give me about 30 minutes?
What's a minute?
I don't know how to say it in your language.
He's all, in my language?
Remember, I'm an exchange student.
I don't remember you being an exchange student. What's an exchange student?
Yeah, she's that's what they. It just means I'm not originally from your area, and so our dialect, because you notice from my accent, our dialect is different,
That's weird.
and I don't know. I don't know how to say the word. Um, Give me a few moments, but don't leave. I'll be there.
Okay. I'll head out there.
Okay, I'll see you soon. Okay, she'll end transmission. Oh my gosh. Okay.
What's happening?
He wants to meet us. I need to meet him at a fuselage in the woods.
What
Okay.
woods?
Well, we need to
Right. Well, okay, that narrows it down. He's on land, if we're
Mhm.
assuming it's actual woods. Okay, wooded area and a fuselage? Okay, so something that's crashed or something. So we can scan for a strange metallic vehicle in a wooded area. I'll see how close I can get and see if that helps us pick up anything that's like that. Hopefully, it doesn't take us long.
Okay.
Did he give you any other hints as to what's around there?
No, he just said that everybody knows where it's at.
Everybody knows where it's at. Does he live? So he lives near that.
Yeah.
Does he live in a big city where there's a lot of his people or not that many? Could you tell?
You know, I couldn't tell, but if it's out in the woods, it's going to be outside of a city.
Right. Okay, so then we'll look for that as well. Any power readings of a city that has their life form signatures. All right, here we go. So then he's going to start flying closer to the planet, trying to be above their satellite range, and hopefully we can scan for that location. Fuselage in the woods near a city on land.
Okay. So does anybody want to roll sensors? Anybody got better than 2D?
I guess it's me. I bumped that a lot last time.
Nice.
I don't even got sensors.
That's okay. That's a good training opportunity for everybody. Diversify.
13.
Ooh.
Sweet.
So this time Nasara takes over, and you start trying to weed out the radio signals and set up some sort of an orbit so that way you're out of the way of potential rotating satellites that might accidentally crash into you. Given the fact that there's really nowhere to hide out in space, if they have the technology on their satellites to turn and look, they'll see you.
Right.
Obviously, that's not naturally the function of satellites.
Yeah.
If they're in this particular age, so you may luck out. So, but yeah, you start, Nasara, you take over and you start kind of doing a scan, using some passive sensors to, look at the terrain below. First bit of good news, obviously, this is a breathable atmosphere compatible to what you're used to. And it detects no sort of anomalies that might otherwise taint the air. Like oxygen could still be breathable, but there may be elements within it that still provide some sort of toxicity or pollen count or something like that that might, act up. Once you track the radio signal, you end up seeing what appears to be a small town in a mountainous region. Oh,
Are
and
we
by the way,
able
your
to-
scans pick up that most of the cities are underwater. There are several, however, that are above water and on land.
How close can we get to the fuselage, do you think, without being seen?
I mean, we'd have to. I mean, we're going to be going into their atmosphere, and that's tough. Like, if we knew if they had any radar or similar type of simple detecting technology that's near there, maybe. But we'd have to find out, like, do they have military or an air force or anything similar where they're going to be doing that?
Yeah, and there's no way to ask him because he is now there waiting for us.
Jerome, can I do a sensor roll to try and see if there are aircraft
No.
within the atmosphere?
Yeah, of course. It's
Denied.
it's literally nothing different than you would normally touch on scanners. It's just obviously it would be unidentified objects that were of lower technology. But yeah,
So I can make a roll.
100%. Same thing. Sensors.
Oh, that's a 1.
Nice. Would you care to re-roll if you have it, or is that going to stand?
Let's just leave it.
Okay. Wow, that would have, for sensors, you had 4D? Nice. Job, Uhura. You failed it this time. You got a decent die roll.
We've been on this ship a long time. Nothing but training manuals to amuse ourselves.
True, but a smart idea. packing on several training manuals.
You're welcome.
So, you again, you do the scan. You end up getting. You end up as you're making your scan. You guys pass a bit too close to an active microwave, which does nothing to the ship because it's got shielding and whatnot. But the sensory equipment ends up putting one of their commercials on full blast in the cabin. So it's deafening for about like 5 or 6 seconds. And to make matters worse, it was some sort of fruity treat or something targeted for kids. So it had like this really weird jingle attached to it or something. So surprising and loud.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Oh, boy.
Still getting used to this kind of application.
Right.
I think you hit some sort of old microwave.
Yeah, boy, that was tuned right into one of their things. Oh. That was music? Was that music they were playing?
Who knows?
Oh, okay. All right.
No, I think the microwave just amplified it.
Let's hope so. All right. Do we have a better spot of where they are, or did that...
You'll need to roll again.
Okay, I will roll again. Wish luck.
Don't deafen everyone with a microwave again.
Do it.
12.
Darn it. Oh, she did get ones, just not the right one.
Right.
Just in the middle.
Yeah, just in the middle. Yeah, so you're able to tune it back in at this point. And gauging by what you have for a readout, they do have would appear to be like subsonic craft that fly through the air. Obviously, you don't have any names to them, but size-wise and whatnot, you would almost guess, okay, well, maybe that's either a bomber or maybe a passenger liner. The smaller ones that seem to move with more agility are perhaps fighters, so they do have aircraft.
Okay, I will explain what I'm seeing. to the group.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I see any nearby, near the area
As you're descending?
we're aiming for? Yeah.
No, not as of yet.
Okay.
Drade, why don't you go ahead and make a piloting check?
Right.
You are fortunate in that if you dive fast enough and get and basically thread the needle through the mountain range,
Mhm.
it could perhaps mask your ship's signal.
Okay. Then, like, on his approach there, he's going to concentrate so that he can then get a bonus here.
All right. Use the force.
Okay, 19. Yep, just needed it easy, so I think that does it. And, okay, now the freighter. Add 4 to that.
Montan, even though we don't exactly know what Mike would be doing, Montan's probably going like, "This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea."
35.
So yeah, he's taking this ship through, basically making it move like Wash made the Serenity move. It shouldn't, by all accounts, be this agile, and he's just making it that agile. You are hugging the mountainside and peaks at certain points by within 20 feet.
All right.
Like,
Yeah.
really close. Like, it's enough to kick up some a little bit of dirt here and there as you go by, or almost brush one of the trees or shrubs that kind of grow in this area. But as you get in closer, you can see you end up seeing the town, and right around in this area, because it doesn't have much right now, but it does have some snow caps on some of the mountains. So you must be getting closer to the fall or winter seasons this planet has.
Okay.
The city itself sits almost kind of nestled into a valley with some of the peaks. And you can see that there's quite a bit of thick forest in the area. Which, if landed correctly, should mask the ship without too much of a problem. And obviously, you have a little bit of an aerial view of the city. The buildings are more rounded by nature, not a whole lot of corners. Almost as if they probably took the same design that may have worked underwater and just kind of repurposed it above land, sort of thing. But you can see that they have tracked vehicles that go across the ground. Your sensors obviously are picking up that there are a few vehicles that hover about the city.
Okay.
Maybe they're watching something. Maybe they're reporting on something. It's hard to say. Sometimes, from a Star Wars perspective, obviously there are repulsor lift vehicles that operate much like helicopters in our world, for news media and so on and so forth. Obviously, that's not something that gets mentioned a whole lot in Star Wars. It's not really what the movies and TV series are about, which actually might be kind of interesting if they did that angle. But yeah, they still kind of have that equivalent.
Okay.
But there's nothing like super flashy about the buildings. Obviously, to the rest of the galaxy, there would be like holographic neon lights or whatever have you wrapping around buildings or whatnot. Obviously, this is much more low tech. You do see that they use street lights. Some buildings have like maybe a light that runs up and around it somehow, but this is nothing compared to what you guys would normally see on even more primitive worlds.
Okay. Gotcha.
So why don't you
So
go ahead
then,
and give me one more roll there, Drade, to land successfully?
Right. Okay. He'll concentrate again, because why not? Oh no! Okay, time to use that reroll for that.
Yeah, so you don't crush someone's car.
Yeah.
That would suck.
That's better. All right. That makes
Failure.
that. And now the actual roll. Oh no!
Woo-hoo.
Oh no! Got a 1 on that.
Okay.
Shoot.
All right, so you kind of bring it in a little fast and then start slowing down as you get near some trees, and you end up bringing it down, and as you bring it down, you end up clipping a tree really hard, and the descent, like the power cuts on the ship, and it lands with a thud.
Oh, that was rough. That was. Sorry, everybody. We all right? Anybody take injuries from that? Hopefully not.
Not
Was it-
dead yet.
Was it the Atmo?
Ah, boy,
No, he hit a tree, I think.
I didn't expect that one to be as tall as it was. I misjudged. Shoot. Okay.
Maybe you should wear your glasses.
Yeah. Very funny. Very funny. Like it. But really, we just lost power there. We need to find out what happened to the ship.
Yeah, let's run some diagnostics before we head out.
And Jerm, what do we roll for that?
It's a star transport repair, starship transport,
That'd be in technical.
space
Do you now have that
transport.
one?
Neither do I.
Somebody want to roll for Mike? He has 4D plus 1.
Yeah, I got a 6.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that for my 4D plus 1.
Also,
13.
Gail, I gave you a new reroll.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I already rolled for Mike. There's 3 6s.
Oh, never mind. There
Okay.
it is.
Well, Colin, let us know if you're going to roll for him.
Oh,
So you have a 6 as the wild die. Go ahead
Yeah,
and roll the D6 again.
yeah.
Roll it
And
again.
again.
All right.
That's somewhere in the 30s.
That's 31.
Nice job, Colin.
It's over 9,000.
Colin
So
might be hot on the dice again.
Montan at this point was saying it was a bad idea, to knowing it was a bad idea, to at this point kind of disgruntled. As everything dropped, he's like, "We lost the sublight drives. I know it. We lost the sublight drives." And so he went to the back and immediately pulled open, pulled open. Basically, well, it's not like a hood, but the compartment that opens up to one of the engines, and just sparks start flying. And he's like, "I knew it."
How long is that going to take to fix, do you think?
He starts looking it over, and he says, "We've got an actuator that's completely shot. We're going to have to refabricate it somehow.
Nice.
In a pinch,
Can we
we have
really-
repulsor lift, but that's not going to get us out of here."
Right.
Can we use an actuator from some other thing that we don't need as immediately?
I could jury rig that from my swoop. That's not advisable, as it's doesn't maintain it has a different power threshold than the starships.
Mm,
So
fair
I
enough.
don't know if it would hold, but I certainly willing to give that a shot.
Jerome, what was knocked out?
The
Yep.
sublight drive.
Yep, sublight drive.
Sublight drive. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
That's basically what you normally fly around with.
That is no bueno.
Okay. Well, do we just need the raw materials for it, or are we actually going to have to get a piece of technology from somewhere in their society?
He kind of like looks around and he says, I don't even know what they have yet.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if I can at least get my hands on some raw metal and test it against what we have, I could, I would know more. I could make a better educated guess at that point. Maybe do something to reinforce the actuator from the swoop.
Maybe we can get a sample off of the fuselage.
That's true. It'll depend on what it is.
So,
Okay.
Dre, do you want to accompany me on this?
Yeah, I think you and I need to go for obvious reasons. We need people to still stay in the ship and guard it.
Okay.
Who is willing to come with? We could take at least one more person, I think, in order to just be safe.
Why don't we take Owen, since Owen has offensive skills?
Sounds good. You ready, Owen?
Why the hell am I being taken with the offensive skills? When
Just,
you're me, a kid.
just in case we run into something strange. We are in the woods.
All right.
I would feel better with you at our back, please.
All right.
Okay.
I'll hold
So
the
she's
fort.
going to
Excellent.
put her cloak on and to make sure her hood is on,
Okay.
and she'll also, close it so it covers her outfit and everything.
Okay.
So she just looks like one gray
Owen
blob.
just, of course, throws on his cloak and grabs his rifle. Well, basically, just about all his equipment except the Imperial uniform.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and Drain will get his stuff. He doesn't have a cloak, so he'll be behind the others as they approach. But yeah, okay. So then we head to where we think the fuselage is.
Okay. So, who here has survival?
I do,
Drake
and
does.
I get a +1 to it from the alt temp.
Yeah, I have.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have survival.
It just says +1 from the thing, so
Right.
So
Want
you
us
would.
to roll?
Yep.
Okay.
As you're trying to find your way through the wood.
Oh,
I
well,
got a 7.
speaking of that, if we're looking for something important,
Davey
let's
wants
see.
to let all you know that he doesn't have survival.
Davey,
This
What are we gonna
surprised
do with
me
you?
none. Knowing his character,
16.
somehow I'm not surprised.
He would find the chickens.
so Drade is going to try to use direction sense.
Okay.
It allows a Jedi to be guided by the Force toward a particular goal or destination. Could be an object of importance, no pole of a planet, blah, blah, blah. It does not sense life forms. Let's see. The difficulty is easy, modified by proximity. So then, how far away did we land near the thing within a certain number of meters? Was it within 100 meters, 10 kilometers?
We do freedom fractions here.
Wow. Okay, then miles and what?
Exactly, yeah. So let's do this. Okay, so yeah, you're within a little under 100 yards away, roughly.
Okay, so that's going to be a +5 to the difficulty. And direction sense starts at easy, which is at 6. So I guess I need an 11. Okay, here we go.
11.
Now I have I got a 16.
For survival?
But can I use life detection to kind of zero in on the kid?
Not right now, no.
Okay.
Shoot. Got a 6. And nope, didn't get it.
Okay. So those of you, what did everybody get for survival checks?
16.
16.
7.
Oh, bummer. Okay, well, Ashi at least kind of knows where she's going. The forest that you guys are in, these are all conifer-style trees, so think pine trees.
Okay.
So the ground is littered with needles. The sky...
Bunch of druggies.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's terrible. The sky, now that you have landed on the planet, the sky when the sun is at its peak tends to have kind of a bluish purple haze to it. So very pretty. As the sun is starting to set, at this point, it makes for a very attractive sunset as it's going through some radical hues going down. Otherwise, planet-wise, this looks like almost anywhere you could be. Like you've seen something like Elrude is kind of similar, mountainous with forest terrain sort of thing. And as you start kind of making your way through, most of plant life here looks very similar to what you're used to. Slightly different, colorations, obviously, but otherwise it's all very similar. You get to an area, or you start approaching an area where you see that they've got wooden split rail fence, and it looks like it's going in kind of a semicircle fashion, probably 15 yards or so wide.
Can we see anything beyond the fence?
You do. You see a solid metal slide. You see a wood plank with 2 handles on either side. Not sure what that is. Players might know. You also see that there, although you can't make out what it says, there appears to be a sign, but it looks like it's facing outward, away from you. So maybe it's a sign that denotes what this location is. Maybe it's a park, or maybe it gives directions or something.
Okay.
The ground around the split rail fence seems to be mostly cleared out. There aren't really any trees in that area, so it's a nice clearing.
And it doesn't seem like it's set up to any kind of like electricity or anything like that.
No. And you do see a beat up long metal shaft that sits kind of in the middle of the place.
Okay. Can I go ahead?
It's on. It actually rests on some rocks, and you can see that they've got a couple metal, maybe I-beams or something, a little bit of a metal substructure to it, so it keeps it in place, and it's sitting kind of upright. And basically, looking at it, it looks like it may have been an airship of some kind at one point in time, and maybe it crashed here, or maybe they decommissioned it here or something. I mean, it's really beat up. It's got some rust on it. You know, it's got some wear and tear. But it looks like, since it's in the middle of what appears to be this park, that it's here kind of as a monument, but also kind of something you can crawl on and play around and play in.
Right. Okay.
Although they don't really have them nowadays. Back when I was a kid, it was not uncommon to find a park that had like a tank in it, or you know, an old fighter jet or something that you could actually climb into.
Yeah.
Nothing says playground like decommissioned.
Yeah.
War
We actually had one of those here where I live. We had a fighter jet and a tank.
Mm-hmm.
We had one, but it was made of foam.
Ooh, fancy.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So can she see Nesto from where they're at?
You see a figure kind of just walking around. Looks like he's in overalls. I gave you a description of what the race looks like, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got his hair tendrils kind of pulled back. And they're kind of basically they're tucked back, and they're actually coming out the back a little bit, as he has what appears to be like a ball cap on. Obviously a little bit bigger in circumference to accommodate their, resting over the tendrils.
Okay.
And he's in overalls.
Okay. She's going to motion to the two to kind of stay put. She's going to hop the fence and start to slowly make her way over to him.
While she's doing that, then Drade's going to be looking around. And he'll see if I can activate Danger Sense. So I'll just be working on that.
Okay.
Is there a stranger danger version?
I mean, if they're so strange that they're going to attack us,
McGruff,
then it's
McGruff, the Jedi crime dog, jumps out.
So if you see us running back to the ship, all Han Solo, it means we're in trouble.
right.
Okay. I'll keep the engines hot.
That
Yeah.
the ones that aren't working right now.
Yeah, those
Sweet.
ones.
So as she approaches closer, she is going to call out to him softly. Nestos, is that you?
Okay, so he kind of like looks around, and he sees you with your cloak and everything on. Is Drade and Owen nearby?
She had them stay by the fence.
Okay, Drade, however, does not have a cloak, and Owen is kind of also cloaked. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
1 second.
Oh, please don't panic.
He's gonna throw a rock at you with his brain.
I feel like it's more or less going to be a 911 call.
That would be the smart thing to do.
All right, so oh, wow. Okay. He actually does not notice you two sitting or standing further in the back. He's only focused on Ashi, all cloaked up, and so he kind of looks and he's really defensive, seeing that you're like the proverbial version of stranger danger. And so he shows that he has a tube which has some sort of lever and what appears to be a stalk attached to it.
Okay.
It's about
She'll
his
put her
size,
hand-
so it's not super big.
She's gonna put her hands up and says, I'm not armed, so don't shoot. Are you Nestos?
Okay. So he nods a second, and then he pauses, and he's like, "What's wrong with your hands?"
I told you that I was different, remember?
Yeah, but did you cut them off?
No. Nestos, this is will you promise not to panic?
He's just like, I can't promise anything right now. You're a lot bigger than I expected. You're not a little kid. But you just stay over there, and he cocks his whatever he has.
I'm going to trust you, and I am going to take off my hood. Okay?
And so he like looks around a second, and he's like, okay.
But I don't want you to panic or run off because it's very important that we talk. And she's going to take.
With that,
Wait.
before you do,
Mhm.
why don't you roll? Let's see. Persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay.
That would be under perception, if you have it. If you do
Not
not,
the
it's just perception.
Okay. Oh, that's not put. Wait. Nope. I guess to put 4 instead of 1. So let me re-roll that, please. I like the other one better. 7.
So you had a 19 and you
Yeah, no.
re-rolled.
That's because I don't have a +4. I have a +1.
What? Okay, hang on a second. Oh, I see what you're saying.
3d6 plus 1 is what my roll is, and I accidentally put 3d6
Plus 4. Gotcha. Okay. So, 7.
Like I said, I like the other one better. If you wanted me to keep it, I'll keep it. I won't complain.
Yeah, no. Okay, so at this point, he takes a couple steps back, and he's like, raising what appears to be a weapon, kind of up a little bit.
Okay, she's going to take a deep breath, and she is going to pull her hood back.
Okay. Go ahead and roll here.
Perfect.
Okay, so you pull your hood back, and of course he's completely shocked. He's never seen anyone or anything who looks like you at all. And he accidentally pulls the trigger on his weapon, and a little BB goes flying out.
Okay.
So it sails harmlessly past you, like it. He's just kind of stunned at what he said, and he's just like, oh, I knew it. You're an
Oh,
extraterrestrial.
Yes, I suppose I am.
Are you going to eat my feet?
No. Is that what they tell you?
That was in the movie.
Oh. No, we're not always like the movies. I'm Ashi.
Hi. You already know my name. I'm not wearing my hat. You can read my mind.
No. No, I can't read your mind. Haven't figured that one out yet.
So he's fidgeting a little nervous but excited, and obviously kind of running down like all the tropes or or whatnot, and he's like, wait, do you have to be sprayed with like a special like aerosol or something so you can breathe?
No. I'm able to breathe the same air as you.
And you don't have bugs?
Not the last time I looked, no.
And he's like, whoa, you look so weird. So many
Actually,
colors.
besides my appearance, I'm not much different than you.
Oh, you're way different than me.
Is it okay if I sit down?
You're not going to bite me with those sharp teeth, are you?
No.
That's what they are, right? They're teeth. They eat
Yes,
meat.
but no. Well, do you eat meat?
Well, yeah, but not like that.
How do you eat meat?
We cook it, duh.
Oh, so do we.
Oh. Oh, okay. Wait, how did you get to be an exchange student then? You don't look anything like us.
Yeah, about that. Can we sit down?
So he's like looking around and, he's like, I'm going to stay standing just in case, but you can sit over there.
Okay. So she'll go and sit down. And she'll think for a moment. Has your planet ever had visitors from the stars?
You're asking me? I mean, I see what I see on TV.
Can you tell me what this is? She points to the fuselage.
Oh, this was one of our old jet fighters that they rolled out and put up on display here in the park. It's really cool.
Oh. So you guys don't have ships that can go out into space?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, they just the adults who run the government just landed something on our moon. It was a big deal for everybody.
I can imagine. I suppose that would have been a big deal for my people as well at one time. So, Nestos, you said that you were able to move things with your mind. Will you show me?
I'll try.
Okay.
It's
Just
not
take
always
your-
something I can do.
just take your time and just what helps me is to just block everything else out, relax your mind, and then just focus on the task.
Okay. So he kind of like looks around for a second and focuses on a rock.
Okay.
And he's too distracted with everything, and he's like, "Nah, I can't do it."
That's okay. We can try again. Um she's going to move the same rock.
Okay.
Me telekinesis. Okay.
Pew.
That is
And watch her roll a 1.
Oh my god, please no. You know what? I'm gonna do concentration first.
Okay.
Oh my god, I rolled a freaking 1. Okay, I'm gonna reroll.
Do you have any more? Because you said you only had 1.
I only had 1 and I haven't used it yet. I have 1 left.
Oh, that's right. You re-rolled because you didn't have the right ones. Okay.
Right. Okay, that's better.
That's way better.
Yeah.
Got to roll again?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So 20. Okay, so now I'm going to.
So
what's my bonus on concentration?
So
Now
6.
you add 4d6 to what your alter skill is.
Oh, okay. So that would be 6d6. 20.
Okay.
So she will concentrate on the rock that he was trying to move, and she'll raise it just a couple of feet off the ground.
Okay. And so he sees you doing that. It's like, whoa. That's like deep magic.
So was this?
Are you
kinda
from the
how-
oceans too?
No, not necessarily. No. But is this kind of how you did it?
More or less. I kind of threw it through the window by mistake.
Oh, actually, that's not bad for a first time. Okay.
That wasn't a first time.
Oh, so how many times have you been able to do this?
I've broken several windows.
Okay.
Thankfully, nobody believes that like the rock just threw itself, and I'm not nearby, so I haven't gotten in trouble for it. But yeah, there's a bunch of people in my neighborhood that are kind of angry.
Maybe I can help you control it better.
How would you do that? Whoa. No, I'm not doing that. You can keep
Not
those
doing-
metal tubes to yourself.
Metal tubes.
Yeah, in every movie where aliens come down, they stick probes all over us.
Oh no, that's not how. How do I explain this? You remember when I told you that you were special?
Yeah.
There is something in the universe that makes us special. and we call it the Force.
What's that?
Well, it is the Force is in everything around us. In the rock that I lifted, in the fuselage behind me, in the waters, in the trees, in you and me. But some of us are a lot more sensitive to it, and we're able to manipulate it, which is what you do when you move the rock through the windows. That's what makes you special.
I guess that explains why I'm not attracted to magnets. They never seem to work on me. I guess it's not a magnet thing.
I don't know what a magnet is. But okay. But I would like to help you if you would like.
How? I mean, I can't go anywhere with you. I got to be back. It's almost dark.
Well, I'm going to be here for a few days. So maybe we can meet back here.
You're gonna scare the kids. I can't have you meet my friends right now. Like, you don't look a thing like me. Oh wait,
No,
can you
no.
shape change into like my pet?
No, unfortunately,
But
no.
you guys don't have like anything that happens in the movies.
Well, maybe, but not yet. Maybe we'll find something that's similar. But I'm not ready to meet other people. So we've got to kind of keep my existence kind of a secret. It's going to be our secret for a little while.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
So, do you have classes during the day?
Oh well, yeah, I have school.
Okay. What time does your school end?
So he looks up and then like looks back around and basically he gives you kind of like a coordinate setting, an adjustment to the sun,
Okay.
which is like it's almost math, but it obviously comes very easy to them. They're adjusted to it. You would actually have to put it in the computer back of the ship to figure it out, like what time he's referring to.
Okay. Okay. So maybe we can meet here a little bit after that.
Okay. Who are they? And why does that other guy look so much different than you? He doesn't have any points and he's got like... Is that hair on his head? Ew!
That is my friend Braid, and the other is my friend Owen. And they're
Such weird names. But I mean, you're aliens, so I guess that's kind of how it works, right?
they're aliens, yes. Braid is able to move the rocks as well. Would you? She's going to motion them to come closer.
Thank you for the raid, Pyro Club. Much appreciated. Being raided for a party of 6.
You sure you want me to move closer to a kid while I'm basically heavily armed?
Well, you got your cloak on, so he shouldn't be able to see any of it, right?
I mean,
He brought the rifle too.
You guys were talking out loud, and he's like, Ashi, why does he have heavy arms? Does he walk on all fours?
Sometimes.
Oh, and
No,
just Just keep it stowed, and we should be fine.
I promise you. They're not here to hurt you or anything else. In fact, he's here to make sure that I'm protected.
Okay.
But this is my friend Drade and my friend Owen. Guys, this is my new friend Nestos.
And so he looks to the both of you, and he's like, "Wow, it's like you've got moss on your head. That's really weird. Does it hurt? It looks like it would hurt."
Is he speaking like our language? Because
No, he's
No, Ashi would be translating
Yeah,
as best
okay.
as she can.
Okay, cool. All right, so then he'd be like, "No, it's just hair. It protects the top of my head."
I mean, he shivers. He's like, "Oh."
Do you have? Are there aliens in your movies with hair?
Yeah, but they only that's only to hide the mouth, and it has teeth like your mouth,
Oh, well,
and they feast on our flesh.
no, he would. He's not into eating your kind.
Okay, that sounds good. And he like holds out his finger and he says, "And no probes, people."
No, they won't probe you. We don't have any probes.
Why is he talking
Actually-
about? Have you been telling him that we probe things? Why is he talking about probes?
No, because
I think this kid's
they
seen
have-
too many movies.
Hey, chef, what's
they
what's an
have-
anal probe? It's where they stick this metal hoobah tube up your butt.
They have movies, picture movies,
Oh, okay.
and so the aliens in their movies probe, and your kind has hair to hide your mouth.
Huh. Right. Okay. So it's fantasy. That's what he's used to. Okay, I get it now. Hey, so can you ask him if there's any like types of metal around here that we can take for ourselves because we damaged something? Maybe he knows.
Nestos, we have a ship like the fuselage, and we damaged it.
Oh, can I see your ship?
I think eventually, yes.
Oh, that would be so cool. You can't take me away on it, but I'd love to see it.
No, we won't. We won't take you away. But we need to be able to repair our ship. Is there a place where we could get some metal so that we can test it?
Yeah, you could go down to Aqua Shack. It's a parts store downtown.
Do you think that you could bring us some metal from there? Because if I go,
I don't. Oh, right. Yeah, because you guys can't shapeshift. See how cool it would be if you
Right.
could just be my pet.
yeah.
Could have easily got
Well,
there.
I don't want to get probed either, so I don't want to go into town.
Oh, ew! I wouldn't do that either. I have mom and dad for the suppository stuff. Just, blech, I don't want to do that.
Okay. So, not sure how to process that. So, Could you bring us some metal from your store?
I don't really have money. I spent every day. I spent all my allowance on making that radio, and I got all the parts from there. So yeah, so they've certainly got stuff, but I don't have any money right now.
Do you have any like metal around your home?
No.
So she's gonna turn to Drade and let him know. They have some at a store, but he doesn't have any money, and I have no idea what their currency is.
Right. Yeah, we obviously can't do that right now.
Oh, what about a junkyard? Would a junkyard work?
Is there one close by?
Not from here. No, it's on the other side of town.
Do you think you can bring me some metal from there?
I don't know what you're looking for.
Just any kind of metal. And it doesn't have to be very
sure.
big. You just need to be able to test it.
I could probably go get some junk.
Incoming noise.
Okay, that'll work, Nestos.
I get the junk and I can see your ship?
Yes.
That is so cool. It's not invisible or
Yes.
anything, right? Like the
No.
Mighty Diss has an invisible fighter.
Yeah. No, we haven't we're working on that, but no. We don't have the ability to cloak yet.
Huh. You can't cloak, you can't shapeshift. Wow, this is like this is a bummer.
Huh.
Sorry, my son's getting some ice in a cup. Okay, Nestos. So I will see you tomorrow then.
Sure.
Okay. Be well.
Same.
Okay, and then
So
she's
he-
gonna throw her cloak
He
back
goes
on.
he goes skipping off real quick, and you see he hops on what would be the equivalent of a bike, and starts pedaling out.
So she's gonna turn to the other two. So, what'd you think?
So he's headed. Was he headed to a junkyard? Is that what he was saying?
Yeah, he said he would stop by the junkyard and bring us some metal.
Okay. That's at least a start. In the meantime, we should probably get back. That way we're not seen by anybody else.
What did you think of him?
He seems like a cute little tyke. Were you able to get him to demonstrate moving things?
I think he was too distracted.
That makes sense. Okay. Maybe
But
next
I
time, just
think-
to make sure that he's doing that. Oh, and we need to find out if how his people would react. Like if they're going to be fine about it, I just want to make sure that he's not in danger. It would be amazing if we could teach him, but that would involve taking him away, and I'd only do that if he actually needed it, if there was an emergency.
Yeah. From what I've kind of gathered, they are quite afraid of extraterrestrials. I guess in their movies, the extraterrestrials eat them. They can read their minds. They get probed. So I would think that they would panic.
I think the kid may have been seeing one too many movies.
Well,
Where the movies depict how they feel about things.
sure. But it sounds like they've never actually seen an extraterrestrial, so they're going to make it entertaining. They're just guessing, of course.
But they have been able to go out into space and land on their moon.
I think we were noticing a bit of their technology that they had left there, and we've seen they've got satellites, but yeah, it doesn't sound like they can enter hyperspace. So,
No, but they are on their way. I mean, they're probably several centuries away from being able to do it, but they are definitely on their way. I also told him if he brought us the medal, he could see our ship.
I guess that's fair. He gets an amazing memory at the very least. Okay.
And she's going to give him the coordinates that Nesso gave her, and explain to him that's how they tell time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll have to use the ship, and might be able to use the nav computer actually, based on the orientation of the stars. See what
So
this means. Translate it.
So she's going to get her hood back up, so in case they're seen, she
Okay.
doesn't want to be seen.
Right.
And they'll hurry back to the ship.
Right.
Coruscant does the same and just gets ready with stuff. Yeah.
Sure. So everybody heads back at this point, back
Yep.
to the ship
Yep.
after making your first contact. Nasara, as you are quietly kind of just observing the control consoles and keeping everything ready in case you guys have to make a quick, slow exit.
Quick, slow.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Quick,
repulsor
slow exit.
repulsor lifts on Starcraft like this, they're not fast at all.
Yeah. Right.
You're back.
Yes. And
How did it go? What happened?
I think
What's it like out there?
maybe we should have taken you because you have more experience with children. It was interesting. They've never seen aliens before. At least not in person.
Yep.
At least the child hasn't.
In movies, he has
Yeah.
Alan's
Movies.
just walking back
Like-
onto the ship.
Like holovids?
Yeah.
Like the
They-
stuff we've been seeing from the stuff they were broadcasting.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they depict aliens as flesh-eating, mind-reading, probing entities.
That's awkward.
Yes, to say the least. But he is going to get us some metal to test, and he will be visiting our ship tomorrow. And she can already hear Montaigne yell from somewhere. What?
Yep, probably.
Do you think he's going to tell anyone?
I don't think so, because he kind of said that no one would believe him anyways.
Right.
Hmm.
The way they're depicting aliens in their entertainment, it seems like almost impossible for us to exist. So I guess that makes sense. It'd be an incredible thing, which actually is, but who'd believe him?
So we're going to meet him at a certain time. We have to. You want to put those in the
Right.
so we can figure out how they tell time.
So he uses like the computer to see if he can get like at least an approximation of like how their time system works.
Okay. Go ahead, and I think we have computers for that, don't we?
Yeah, computer program and repair, I think is the closest that
I got computers.
Well, then maybe you do that.
It's not really Well, actually, yeah, it would be programmed. So go ahead and use that.
Yeah. Okay.
Go
You would
ahead.
be programming?
Yep. Computer.
Then never mind.
Why?
Well,
No.
I
I like
only
to-
have a 2d6 plus 1 in technical.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna re-roll that. Don't want that one. Oh yeah, much better. Okay, total of 6.
oh yeah, I'm out of rerolls now.
Wow, total of 6.
Yeah,
Nice.
high numbers.
Unfortunately, you kind of put it in there, and it comes up with like a syntax error or something. It's maybe you didn't key it in correctly or what have you.
Maybe
But
we can get.
Yeah, shoot here, and he goes over. He's gonna assume like T4 is in his socket or whatever at this point. So he's
sure.
gonna walk over to T4. Hey, T4, here's the data. Can you see if you can interpret this? It's their time system. We're trying to figure out what time we're meeting him tomorrow.
Okay, sure. He spits out an affirmative chime of some kind of whizzes and beeps. Go ahead and roll 7D.
That is much better. Oh boy, they're gonna blow up that 6.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Total of 28.
Not bad. So it quickly crunches those numbers in that syntax that you've put together, and it spits out a relative time of would be the equivalent of like 2:30.
Excellent. Nice work,
Okay.
T4. All right.
And
Right.
now that you have that syntax, now that he knows, or how it knows how to quote unquote tell time, it's able to add that to the standard programming of the ship. So it can, like it would normally be a part of the comm buoy when you first get into a planetary system, and you're
Like
coming to.
adjusting for local time.
Yeah, exactly.
Sweet.
That's usually a part of the upload package that you get automatically. So you don't have to do any of that. You just know when you're starting to land, you're like, oh, okay, it's the equivalent of like 8 p.m. Holy crap, everybody's in bed or whatever have you.
Right.
It can now add that, and it can tell you now roughly whenever time it's going to be.
Excellent.
T4, if you're able to hear a language being spoken, will you be able to create translations?
So you get some beeps back from it, which have kind of a a disgruntled sound to it, as the speaker translates for its chimes and whatnot, and it says, "Unfortunately, I am not programmed for that."
That's too bad. One thing needs to fix that.
Are you having any troubles understanding Nestus when you're talking to him?
I mean, some words that he says I have no reference for.
Oh, okay.
And vice versa. I mean, especially like the time telling, he had no idea what I was talking about.
Right.
But maybe Are we still picking up their television transmissions?
We could tune
The
into them
movies?
if we needed to, probably.
I'd
Especially
love
now
to
that we're
s-
on planet. It should come in pretty clear.
I want to see one of these alien movies.
Representations.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and tune the signal to try and pick up a radio
Sure.
or a
Go ahead
TV
and
station.
go ahead and roll your sensors again.
Well,
Said 12. Okay. So you're getting a little used to this. You know the range that they seem to be operating at, so adjusting it isn't really a problem. The first thing you do is you kind of adjust a little bit, and this one actually has picture, so it's clear it's one of their visual broadcasts as well. And from the looks of it, it looks like it's a game show. And it's got some guy kind of looking around, trying to make like a last minute decision. And you see females of the species like on opposite ends or whatnot. And they're like gesturing with their hands, a little bit with their tendrils, which is kind of familiar as a Twi'lek, because you're used to that with your Leku. That being a part of how you communicate with your own race. They clearly have some of that to some degree as well. And they're kind of talking back and forth, and basically Ashi, the closest you can come to understanding the show, because they're talking a little bit faster than Nestos was. It looks like he's trying to make a decision between door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3, and of course the females are like they're not saying anything, but they're like hyping up the door, like what might be behind it. And there's a guy with this old school like silver microphone, sort of thing, talking to him back. And he looks around, and then he eventually points to one of the doors, and he effectively says, "I'll buy that for $1." And then
Okay.
they do like one of these numbers, and the door rolls up, and it ends up being like a bunch of rickety looking crates, or something. And then there's of course a fail chime.
Yep, you got the gag prize.
And then he's just like, oh, and the guy looks like he's being conciliatory or whatnot. And you overhear something to the effect of like, it sounds like he could probably recycle them or something. He could try and get some use to them, and he's just like, oh. And then of course the chime comes back in, as they end up saying something to the effect of like they're going to get another, they're going to decide on another contestant for the next round, of buy this door or whatever the equivalent. It's almost like this weird campy Price is Right sort of kind of show, but when you get past whatever first stage that you have to get past, then you have to tell them you're going to buy like that door with whatever points that you have left or money or something to that effect. Kind of flows very similarly.
They seem to really like games.
I do. I wonder if that's what they primarily do, or if they have anything else. I mean, it sounds like from what you were talking about, they have movies, anything else. Seems like they run the gamut of that type of entertainment, very similar to like what we have throughout the galaxy.
And Nasara, can we keep scrolling through their
sure.
broadcasts?
See if we can
I want-
find anything else.
Well, yeah, see if we can't actually find one of these movies.
Sure.
And you know what? In addition to that, I know this is all fun, but just in case Nestos can't get metal from that junkyard or scrapyard, can we, now that we're on planet, we're near a mountain, maybe there's an outcropping of metal that we can actually get to if it's not too far away, if it's hidden.
Scan for ore or something.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's a good
yeah, that's
idea.
definitely something you can do. Nasara does a little bit more fine tuning, and of course you see it kind of fuzz and little vibrations of the signal as something else comes back in, and you see a kind of a tall, powerful looking member of their race. It's got a little bit of armor. Looks like it's kind of beat up. He's got a hat very similar to Cad Bane, so kind of cowboyish looking, and he slings this like large rifle over his shoulder, and he's talking with a bit of an accent even for like their own race. And Ashi, you end up hearing him say something to the effect of like, well, we'll head them off at the aqueduct, waha.
Oh my goodness.
Alien Michael Bay.
It's Puan Jane.
Yeah.
And as you're continuing watching, it looks like it. I mean, obviously the actor is kind of overacting a little bit, but it appears to be some sort of war flick.
But no aliens.
No aliens. It's almost the equivalent of a lot of John Wayne's World War II flicks, but he ended up doing a bunch that were centered around the South Seas, so it has that kind of vibe to it: islands,
Okay.
ocean, naval
Yeah.
ships, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I've seen many of his movies. My dad was a huge fan.
Hmm.
Yes. Let's keep going.
I'll
Okay,
keep tuning.
go ahead and roll again.
Can I try to see if I can at least make a rough translator from this using the channels?
Do you have computer? Well, you don't understand the language yet, really. So you would actually have to try and get with Ashi, and then have somebody try and computer program it.
I mean, I have computers, but I don't have programming.
Well, if you have computers, you have computer program.
Oh, then yeah, I have computers.
And we have a T4
Yes, we do.
who's really good at that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Nasara, what'd you get?
13.
13. Okay, so you tune in again. This particular one is a little encoded. And obviously, it's not something the ship can't pick up, but you get the impression that the type of encoding on this, it's probably not one of the regular stations. So, and as it ends up tuning in, you end up seeing what is temporarily before you quickly change it, is the Skinamax version of a premium channel that they had, and you're like, kind of fudge the thing again real quick as you see that it was probably
Educational.
a little adult oriented. You adjust it again, kind of same thing. It's more of it's more of a hard encoded signal, as opposed to the other ones which look to be like broadband broadcast. The next one comes in. It does appear to be a movie at this point, and what you end up seeing is you guys are watching it for a little bit. I know you've never seen it, but I'm sure you've seen clips or people posting memes for outtakes or whatnot. You're looking at their version of the Thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
So basically, it's this cold Arctic outpost out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knows or can trust the other individual because they all appear to be shape changers. Like one of their heads pops off at this point and crawls away in kind of like a spidery form, as somebody else gets like a flamethrower trying to, blow it away and burn it up.
Well, that
It's ready.
explains a lot.
Yep. That's
Okay.
very creative. Okay. Well, hopefully they don't think that that's realistic.
Yeah. I think my hair's in my face. I wonder if we could zero in on maybe some of their military transmissions.
I mean, we can see
Are
what we can find.
Are you sure? Because that's kind of ballsy.
Well, it would be kind of nice to make sure that nobody has spotted us.
It's actually a good
Uh,
point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if we're just receiving signals and we don't respond back, it shouldn't be like they'll realize that we're obtaining the information anyway.
Yeah, we don't need a all your base is to belong to us thing.
Fatality.
Hey, I rolled again and got 15.
Okay. So at this point, you're trying to, well, your sensors can only pick up so much. You would actually have to go to communications if you're trying to get typical encoded messages of that nature that are not visible.
Would you like me to roll communications?
Yes. Basically, what you were doing before with your sensors package is you were just getting the stuff that was free floating out there. It would be
13.
akin to putting the rabbit ears up. All right.
13.
Can I give it a shot? Because I got communications too.
Only one person can be at the
Ah.
comms at a time. So, what do you have for your dice?
3d6.
I got 3d6. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Cool.
either way, you're good. All right. So, you do end up hearing some typical radio broadcast coming through. The non musical or informative, like individuals actually talking to one another. Hard to say, unfortunately, if it's military or not.
Is Ashi listening?
Ashi, why don't you go ahead and give me a language check, just to be sure.
Oh no!
And she's
Come
also
on.
muted. Woohoo! Check that out.
Nope. Ain't gonna happen.
All right, so we got a bot. So she's kind of listening in for a second, and she, honestly, it sounds like you're listening to two people sharing recipes.
They're talking too fast and like almost on top of each other. I'm having a really hard time distinguishing what they're saying.
If only I didn't fail my initial language check.
You got a reroll, Shelly, from Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
Sure.
Can we adjust for maybe like trying to pick up underwater signals? Would there be anything different to doing that?
You wouldn't know if the signal was underwater or not. Short of tracking each individual signal that you got in, which would just be time consuming.
Okay.
Really, the big barrier right now is accurate language checks for it. That's what's the big holdup right now. If you had something that could help you with the language first, then you could determine, okay, this is just people talking to themselves. This chatter seems to be tied to the military. This one seems to be a news outlet or a police unit, so on and so forth. But if you roll a successful communications check, you can at least set up a scanner, because that's easy enough,
There you go.
and just basically have your system mark the channels that it finds that are active the most.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What do we roll for that?
Communications.
Okay. Colin, if I watch this, then you should try it.
You're going to want a difficult or a moderate or higher.
I got a 1. So
Okay, so it's me
All
next.
right.
I'm gonna stand up and stretch for a few minutes. Let
So-
you take-
Yeah. So I mean, at this
there you
point,
go.
so at
I
this
got an
point,
11.
you've been sitting a long time, and so you start trying to set something up so it can act as a scanner, which would normally be really simple. But as soon as you start, you get a massive Charlie horse in your left leg.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
Like it just cramps on you, and that's where your whole focus goes at that point. Oh, and you got what?
11.
That is enough. Okay, so you swap in from Limpy Twi'lek and work a little magic and set up a scanner at this point. So now it's going to be, I don't. You're probably too young for this, but every so often when people wanted to monitor the police in their neighborhood or paramedics, whatever have you, they'd get a scanner, and what it would do is it's a lot of the ones, it would have like a light that would go across as it hit certain channels, and it would stop, and it usually played like 2 or 3 seconds of whatever was happening, and then it went on to the next like grab or wherever it picked up the signal from. That's essentially what you set up.
So I would just be listening to dispatch, basically.
Kind of, yeah. Any signal that was strong enough to come through. But the nice thing about your ship's computer is it can track which channel is the most active. So then after you've scanned for a while, you could just stop scanning and just monitor that channel or whatever have you.
All right. Excellent. Do we have any leads on the metals in the area? Have we looked into that yet?
Sensory check.
I don't
Does
got
that mean again?
sensors.
Boy, these 2 games have been the night of all the ship checks,
Exactly.
which I like because that's hasn't come up a whole lot.
Is my Charlie horse easing?
About this time, yeah.
Okay. 20.
Nice. So you're in luck. About the equivalent of 3 miles out from where you landed would be the southwest. You actually pick up a fairly big mineral deposit with life forms coming in and out of it. Which would probably mean it's a mine.
If
Well, there's-
only that place was not occupied.
Well, I mean, were they occupied at all times? Jerome, is it like daytime right now?
It's evening.
Okay. So then he's like, if they're anything like most people. Oh, Ashi, did you find out? Did they happen to be like, I don't know. Are they awake all the time? Do they sleep? I would just be assuming that they do, but do they? Do you know?
I mean, I'm assuming they do from watching their shows.
Yeah.
Uh,
then-
Having her talk
Judging-
with the kid.
Judging from the one channel that we noticed, like, did they have beds.
Oh yeah.
So it would stand to reason that they sleep.
Right. Okay,
This could be security.
yeah. Well, so then that's the thing. So if we wait till nightfall, maybe that's when they would stop their work at that mine. We could at least scan again to see if the number of life forms has diminished or if there's none. Then we could try to get in there and just grab a piece. That would probably be the easiest rather than us trying to mine something ourselves. They might have some extra material. We don't need a ton.
How far away is it, Jerome?
It's within 3 miles.
Okay, so it's walkable. Okay, yeah, let's keep an eye on this area and see what develops.
Okay.
Agreed. I'm glad we skipped that channel though. We did not need to see that.
Well, educational. You learn something about them. Not that we didn't know we didn't know that. Never mind.
It's not
Great.
necessarily something
Good-
we
Good idea to
need
stop
to
there,
know,
Drake. Good idea.
but, yeah, not really necessary.
Right.
All right. Well, I take it then everybody's going to sit back and relax and wait until nightfall.
Yeah, Owen probably would just kill some time watching TV.
That's pretty much what Ashi's going to do. She's going to watch TV and try to pick up on much of try to figure out their like slang and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
All
we
right.
can figure out if more of us can figure out their language, that would be awesome.
Well, it will take time, obviously, for that.
Yeah.
But as you guys are waiting and you see, you watch TV, you see one is a period drama. Looks like it was when they used wooden naval vessels, and they dressed very similarly to pirates. But the difference, of course, is they have aquatic elements because they can swim in and out of water. They seem to survive on land and in the water to equal degrees. So obviously that changes the very nature of some of that type of genre, but nevertheless. Then you end up seeing several game shows. They like game shows, apparently, or at least from what you can tell. They've got something to the equivalent of like a Family Feud type of setup.
Is he kissing all the females?
Well, the tendrils touch.
So Richard Dawson.
Pretty much. Something that goes with pork. Cupine.
Huh?
That's a Steve Harvey clip.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
really funny.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name. Alligator. That was Richard Dawson.
Oh, good times.
So, but yeah, they have equivalent to that. They've got an equivalent to The Joker is Wild, which some of you probably don't remember that because you're too young. But basically, it's the equivalent of like a big gambling show where they answer some questions and then some guy comes up and pulls a big lever, and then 3 types of cards come up, and almost like a slot machine a little bit, but card indicative. So, anyways, But yeah, you're noticing that culturally they are very. I don't want to say they're very diverse, but they are very active with self entertainment. Like they're at
Like
that
being in the
point.
80s again.
Yeah, it's at that point where people are craving content of some form or fashion, be it movies, TV shows, game shows. They just seem to be very, very interactive as a culture in that way. Shelley, go ahead
Ashi
and give
would
me.
probably.
Shelley, go ahead and
Oh,
give me
go
a
ahead.
check for your languages.
Okay. I was gonna say she probably will just fall asleep where she's watching. Ooh, no, it's 2. Nice.
Nice. Reroll that 6.
14.
Okay, well, beats the 13. So, yeah, so you're getting a little bit better hang of it. It's more of a how you should stand and like it's the emoting. That's a good way to put it. You're getting the emoting down a little bit more. Obviously, it's not going to help with your accent, but you're not going to look like you're standing there stiff as a board, just reciting lines, sort of thing. So it's helping a little bit.
So also, from watching these shows, is she able to also kind of pick up some cultural taboos and you know?
Not from these sanitized TV shows. You're gonna have to watch Skidamax for that.
Oh boy.
I don't think I want.
And how can you tell what's taboo and what's permissive?
Yeah.
Anything that appears on that show is probably something that they might consider a little adult or racy.
Yeah, there you go.
So
You would have to compare and contrast.
So, but can she, just from watching the shows, can she kind of pick up on their cultural, kind of like the do's and don'ts?
No.
Okay.
No, you're almost gonna have to look up like a classroom setting or something to pick up on something like that, or watch more news, a whole lot of news, which you don't really have the time for.
Yeah, the others will find her passed out in front of the TV.
Okay, well, it is evening time. You guys are going to make a run to the mine. Who's going?
First, we're gonna check it on the scanner and see if there's still activity.
Right.
Sure. So you just left it active, kind of monitoring that particular section. There's a little bit, but not nearly as much.
Can we tell what
Probably.
areas are less active?
Yeah. When you had first checked it, there were roughly 25 live individuals in that area, and now there's only 3.
If I had to wager a guess, that's probably security.
Could be.
I think I will stay back, and I'm going to keep the radio open in case Nestos tries to reach out.
Okay, I'll go this time. Really curious about this new planet.
Yeah.
I'll probably go as well since I have
You're
basically
our
4 and
offense. Yes.
yeah, I got 4 and sneak too. So
I'll go with you.
All right. Everybody roll your sneak. Sneak, sneak, sneak.
Sneak your booty.
Sneak your booty.
Wait a
13.
second.
Where did her booty go?
Also 13.
16. Oh, wait.
Wow, die.
roll.
18.
Nice.
Nice. All right, all of you are staying relatively quiet. You've had a chance to get used to pine needles that are all over the ground out here. So obviously it's really hard to keep exactly quiet. But you guys are all fairly well sneaky. You've had some practice. And you are moving, as I said, you're moving relatively quietly, but with an eye to keeping enough of the tree line between you and the town and ambient light from like street lights and whatnot. So you're
Right.
hugging the shadows, doing a pretty good job of it. It is a little bit of a hike. You do end up getting near where this mine is at. You can see that they've got chain link fence that kind of wraps up and around the front. It's got a gated door. They have floodlights that are not on. They have standard lights that are on the yard itself. But otherwise, I mean, it looks like your old standard mine. Like it's got some like a metal framework in the front denoting where the entrance is, as well as a sign. It's got a vehicle. It's got a one big vehicle and one small. Looks like it's four-wheeled. That's here as well. There are some benches out here. There's several spots for other cars to park for people who might be working the mine.
Does it look like the mine entrance itself is open?
Yeah.
Okay. And do we see any of those three individuals in this area?
You see one in what would probably be a guard shack.
Okay.
He has his feet kind of kicked up on the desk, and he's looking at one of those old school like TVs that had the handle on it that you can bring. It has like the antenna you can adjust, black and whites.
Okay. So it's like, all right. So looks like that guard is distracted. As long as we don't make any sudden movements, go in front of him, or make a lot of sound, we should be relatively good.
Do we need to worry about cameras?
That's a good question. I'm not seeing any here. Do we, like now hearing that, looking around, do we see any cameras in the area?
Everybody give me a check.
For how
Would
much?
Well,
Would that
I
be
mean,
an investigation check?
it would be an investigation check, but if you're offering money, I can be bribed.
No. Okay, I've just got perception. Do I have investigation? Okay. All right.
I do not have investigate. I have search.
Investigation.
Nope. So just perception.
Yes.
$23.
15.
11.
Wow, Colin. Wait, you only have 1D to perception?
No, he got a 6 in the previous one.
Oh,
That was
okay.
his.
I missed that then.
A 6
That
was my
was-
wild die.
Yep.
Okay.
That was
Whew.
his explodey.
All right. So, you guys are all paused, hunkered down where you're at, looking around. Colin, you have got the best roll by far. Looking around, you can see that there are cameras. There are 2 to be exact, and they both kind of swing back and forth. They start from like looking at the front and then scanning the sides and then to the front again and then to the sides. They're very, very basic.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem.
Owen points out the cameras. They're basic, but either way, there's going to be a guard room that is connected to these cameras.
Right, right. We could time it to get past those cameras. They're like swinging like back and forth, like looking. Okay.
Yep.
We could try to time it to get past them.
But we're going to have a guard up in that shack.
True. The guard, though, looks like he's watching TV and not watching us. So as long as we can avoid the cameras and not make sounds that the guard hears us, that could do it.
We could make a distraction of some sorts, lure him away from that shack.
We could.
Just make it seem like some natural disturbance, like a animal.
It's true. Those cameras, they've got to have power to them. I wonder if there's a generator around here we can shut off.
Generator, fuse box, something.
Right. So then looking around,
Jedi.
is there anything that looks like it leads to powering those cameras that we can see from here?
Jedi mind trick.
Neither of us have that. Yet. So yeah, Jerome, looking around, do we see like the power cables or whatever from the cameras going somewhere?
Yep, sure do.
Well,
Off to the south side of the mine, because the mine obviously is right up against the mountain. You
right.
go along the south side, you can see that there's a small little generator area.
Okay. So that could be that. Is the generator area like away from where the cameras would be looking? Or
Mhm.
could we make our way there? Okay. So
You would have to
that's one
sneak
thing.
past the cameras to do it, but yeah, you could.
Okay. Owen, you seem to be the best at being stealthy. It does take a little bit to get past those cameras, but then if you can shut off the generator, that should turn those off. We should be able to get by. That would make it easier for all three of us anyway.
True, but that'll cause the security guard to come and check it out.
True. That would then be the distraction, right? Because if those turn off,
True.
then he goes over there, and that's going to be far away from this spot, so that might work out well.
It'll either be the guard from that booth or the one that watches the cameras.
Yeah, true. That booth
So-
might be where he
so
sees the
that's
cameras.
it.
I'm actually not
Yeah,
sure.
so that's going to be a 50-50. And there's also the third one, who could be patrolling the grounds.
Do you think you'd be able to make it, or do you think it's too risky for you trying to get to the generator?
I'll see if I can do it.
Okay, don't take too many chances, but see what you can do.
Hey, I'll see what I can do.
All right.
Alrighty. So go ahead and roll your snick. You're a snake. A nope rope.
14.
14. Okay. 14 puts us at moderate. Okay. So with your cloak on, you kind of hug the wall a little bit, try to, or not the wall, but get past the fence, and then basically what you have to do is you have to get on the north side of the mine entrance, hopefully get across, hug the side there and the front of the mine, and then do the same thing to get past the other camera, which you're able to do. It takes a little bit, especially since you're trying to keep as quiet as possible and as unseen, but you do make it around the other side, over to this small fenced off area that has the generator. You can tell because they've got several connecting cables that go from it to the station. It also goes into the mine, so on and so forth.
Am I able to see possibly a guard that might be patrolling the grounds or anything?
Give me another investigations check.
Oh, nice.
20.
Nice.
Good job. And I'm telling you, he's hot on the dice the last
Woohoo.
couple of games.
So, Colin, you see the other two security guards, and they're walking the perimeter of the fence.
Owen pings his comms real quick. Yeah, I see the other two guards. They're patrolling the grounds.
Got it. Thanks for the update.
So this is going to be. So that possibly makes, I say, 4 from what we possibly know.
Well, those could just be the last two guards. Are they headed our way or away from us?
Looks like they're patrolling the area around the generator, from what I can tell.
Okay. Is it going to be too risky for you to get to it? Or do you think you can?
Let me check to see if there's a switch I can reach before I try anything.
Got it.
Because I got my stick with me.
Okay.
I'm gonna check the generator to see from what I can see to see if there's like the switch to it before I try anything.
Give me a search check.
Another 20.
Wow. Okay.
I got another 6 for the low die.
Cool. So you're poking around, and yeah, you see it. Not a problem. You can't read it, but the paneling that's around the switch is different than the others that you see there.
Got it. He pings it in. Yeah, I see the switch. I can't read it, but it's very much so obvious. Dale, you muted.
Thank you. So, yeah, if you can get to it, see if you can flip it. And then get back to us.
Owen's going to get out his Gaffridi stick and flip the switch before trying to make it back to them.
Okay. So your gaffy stick does have an end that you can use for a hook, so that will work. However, it is a little awkward given the fact it's big and you're needing to reach to the fence to get to it. So I will give you a strength check, but you need to make it at a moderate.
All right. Oh, fuck, I only have a 2D in strength.
You got 2D plus 2. Okay. So you're reaching across there with your gaffy stick, pressing up against the fence. No dice. You're having trouble in the darkness making that connection and then getting the leverage to pull it down. So your options here are to keep trying that. If you want to scale the fence and get in there to flip it, you can. It's not impossible. It's chain link. But it's just not fast. Or you could shoot it.
I'll try scaling the chain link.
Okay, why don't you give me a climbing check?
Yeah, luckily I have something better than
Yep, you got
Yeah,
3D
'cause
plus
I'm-
2.
yeah, because I am not stupid enough to shoot it. 17.
Okay, much better. So you take a couple seconds here, put your boots in the chain links, and kind of flip yourself up over without too much noise. Give me another stealth check. See if you're able to get up and over with being quiet.
$13.
That's still moderate. Okay, so you get up and over. You don't make a whole lot of noise, or if you even if somebody heard it, they wouldn't necessarily be able to triangulate it to you. You just flip the switch.
Yeah, I'll flip the switch.
Okay, so everything goes off, like the whole area blacks out. Colin, go ahead and roll your climb again. And are you attempting to be sneaky while doing it?
Yes.
Okay. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
$12.
Okay, climbing up and over, not a problem. Roll your sneak. Sneak, 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 sneak.
Oh, fuck.
Oh. Do you have a reroll?
No.
Oh, shoot.
Brr, 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 brr. Okay, so here we go. I'll play this one instead.
No whammies and stop!
No whammies and stop. In the vein of old game shows. All right, so getting up and over, not a problem. Doing it quietly, impossible. Like you jumped at it a bit too quick because you were nervous, with everything going on. So it was pretty loud. So you can hear people calling out and looking around, and flashlights come on as they start looking around at the fence lines, trying to see if they can spot who or what did that.
Right.
Thankfully, you're hunkered down on the other side of the generator, but it's going to make getting back to your friends difficult.
Right.
So are you going to attempt to rush getting back to them and stay quiet? Or are you going to move as slowly as possible and stay quiet? Obviously, one means if you're successful, you get out of the area quickly, unseen. The other one, but obviously it's a harder chance to stay quiet. The other one means you're staying quiet a lot more, but there's still an increased chance to find you because you're moving slowly and sticking to the shadows.
I'll try to stick to the shadows because
Move
trying
slow.
to rush it is
So
not a
you're
good idea.
moving slow then.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll your snick.
Ooh, it's looking good. Really good.
You have
Wow.
a reroll, by the way, Owen, from Brittany.
Yeah, Brittany gave you another reroll, so make sure you mark that down.
So that's about 30.
So you're
Good
off to a great start, and in fact, you're making such progress as you're walking along it because it's easy to spot them. They got their flashlights out. They're looking around and starting to make their way back to the generator. So with that, I'll actually cut down on the test that you have to make because you were so successful on the first one. You've made your way from the power generator up along the side, and you're now right in front of the entrance to the mine. One more sneak check, and you're in the clear. Oh, better use that reroll.
Reroll.
Oh, no. All right.
The gods have forsaken you tonight.
He was doing great, and then started to choke. So at this point, you can feel your heart pounding in your chest. You know, the adrenaline dump is there, and you're like, oh, I got to get going. You made it further than what you thought, so then you turn to move, and you end up stepping on like a can and then kicking a bucket. Like all kinds of noise, and immediately 2 of the flashlights point right at you. And that's where we're going to stop for the evening.
That's perfect.
You're so mean.
I love it. Cliffhanger.
Yep. So, as an FYI, the next week that we would normally be playing this game, I'm going to be out. So there will be no games for the week of the 21st on. So that means there's no Star Wars, Mythic Savannah, or Marvel Superheroes. I will be out of town for that particular time frame. So we will be picking this back up in November. Outside of that, though, this Friday is Mythic Savannah, so be sure to tune in then. It's going to be 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this Saturday, we have Marvel Superheroes kicking off at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So looking forward to both those games. Obviously, we got a lot of good stuff going on. A great game here tonight. Most of the rolls definitely went your guys' way.
Yeah.
But of course, we were going to be continuing Christmas in October as we award much more points in both Mythic Savannah and the Marvel Superheroes game. So thank you guys all for tuning in and hanging out with us. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the follow, and we'll see you guys again next time. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.